Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Today we'll be having a private conference for 5 civil works project. But before we start, let us all stand for a prayer.
Lord of wisdom, source of intelligence, we welcome you to this auspicious gathering, an august moment for the pursuit of knowledge that is offered for the glory of your name. We do not wish to ask you more than just you joining us today, but we look forward to your heavenly grace to amplify the desire for truth, to look up for it, become prudent to learning. Keep us grounded in your love and mercy as we traverse a challenging path to keeping the inclination of understanding you and your most awe-inspiring creation. Be with us, O Lord, and descend your Spirit on us to maintain an earnest desire for knowledge, truth, and understanding you, the guide of the wise, the stronghold of the learned. This we ask through Christ, our Lord. Amen.
Let us all be seated. To our YouTube live viewers, prospective bidders, fellow back members from the technical working group and secretariat, once again, good afternoon to each and everyone. To continue, may request Engineer Brian Nelagusto, who are the invited observers for this afternoon private conference. Engineer Augusto.
Pleasant morning to all, and thank you, Mr. Chair, and for our invited observers for today's procurement activities, which is the private conference. Our first official observer is our resident auditor from the Commission Audit, DPWH Nueva Vizcaya First District Engineering Office, Barangay Nueva Vizcaya. Our second official observer is Miss Maria Ana Gitingol, Executive Director, Philippine Green Building Council from Crescent Park West, BGC, Taguig City. And our third official observer is Engineer Gladys Gutibercio, alternate observer from the National Contractors Association of the Philippines Incorporated, Aritao, Nueva Vizcaya. So these are our three official observers for today's private conference. Thank you.
Thank you, Engineer Brian Nelagusto, for reading our letters from the official observers for today's procurement activity, which is a private conference. Then may I know again if we have any other mode of invitation to them?
Yes, again, Mr. Chair, we send them the letter of invitation to observers for contract ID number 24BI0065 to 24BI0069 through my email sent February 16, 2024 at 5:15 p.m. Thank you.
Again, thank you, Engineer Brian Nelagusto. All of our observers are not present for this afternoon private conference, but we'll continue the private conference as scheduled. Again, may I request Engineer Brian Nelagusto, our Head Secretariat, to read the attendance and declare if we have a quorum.
Thank you again, Mr. Chair. And for the roll call of attendance for the private conference of 1 Goods and Services and 5 Civil Works projects, from the Bids and Awards Committee members composition, we have Engineer Valentino Bisareno,
Present.
BAC Chairman, Chief Planning and Design Section, Engineer Danilo A. Bernabe,
Present.
BAC Vice Chairman, Chief Quality Assurance Section, Engineer Reden A. Milyare,
Present, sir.
BAC Regular Member from the Construction Section, Architect IBO Salazar, Provisional Member and User for all types of project procurement, Engineer Maria Loida F. Bernabe, Provisional Member and User, Chief Maintenance Section, Engineer Bayani F. Molina, Provisional Member and User from the Construction Section, Engineer Larissa Villanueva Blanza, Provisional Member for Goods and Services from the Maintenance Section. And for the roll call of BAC Secretariat, sir, yours truly, Brian Neil G. Augusto, Head. For the BAC Secretariat members, we have Mr. Remy A. Santos, member, BAC Secretariat. Miss Ande Erica Fatima P. Cabang, BAC Secretariat member. Miss Simonette Lacorda, BAC Secretariat member. Mr. Allen Edward G. Damaso, BAC Secretariat member. And Miss Lutgarda D. Reyes, BAC Secretariat member. And for the technical working group, sir, who are present for today's bid conference, we have Engineer Narcisa A. Santos, TWG member, Miss Diane Sheldon G. Baligo, TWG member. And for the prospective bidders, sir, who are present for today's suppliers, rather, Mr. Joel F. Jimeno, Technical Officer from iSource Asia Business Solution Corporation. Good afternoon, sir. And for the technical personnel, sir, who prepared the plans and DEDs for this particular project, we have Engineer Joseph Noel S. Adukul, Engineer 2 from the Maintenance Section, Engineer Angie A. Reyes, Engineer 2 from the Planning and Design Section, Engineer Angelica F. De La Cruz, Engineer 2 from Planning and Design Section, and Engineer Jasper T. Pagtulingan, Engineer 2 from the Planning and Design Section. Sir, majority of the Bids and Awards Committee composition members are hereby present for today's private conference. Therefore, there is a constitution of the quorum. Thank you.
Again, thank you, Engineer Brian Neil Augusto, our head secretariat, for reading the attendance for this afternoon private conference. Since majority of the BAC members are present, as BAC chair, I now declare that this private conference is officially open and on order. To continue, for the agenda for today, I will first read the 2016 revised implementing rules and regulations, particularly section 22, which is private conference. For 22.3, the private conference shall discuss, clarify, and explain, among other things, the eligibility requirements and technical and financial components of the contract to be bid, including questions and clarifications raised by the prospective bidders before and during the private conference. For 22.4, the minutes of the private conference shall be recorded and prepared not later than 5 calendar days after the private conference, and shall be made available in prospective bidders not later than 5 days upon written request. Decisions of the BAC amending any provisions of the bidding documents shall be issued in writing through a supplemental/bid bulletin at least 7 calendar days before the deadline for the submission and receipt of bids. In addition, 22.5, it is supplemental bid or /bid bulletins. Requests for clarifications on any part of the bidding documents or for an interpretation must be in writing and submitted to the BAC of the procuring entity concerned at least 10 calendar days before the deadline set for the submission and receipt of bids. The BAC shall respond to the said request by issuing a supplemental/bid bulletin duly signed by the BAC chairperson to be made available to all those who have properly secured the bidding documents at least 7 calendar days before the deadline for the submission and receipt of bids. Also, 22.5.2, for purposes of clarifying or modifying any provision of the bidding documents, supplemental/bid bulletin may be issued upon the procuring entity's initiative at least 7 calendar days before the deadline for the submission and receipt of bids. Any modification to the bidding documents shall be identified as an amendment. That is the 2016 revised implementing rules and regulation of Republic Act 9184, which is private conference. So to continue, we'll proceed for the main agenda for today. The agenda for today, first agenda, basic contract data to be presented and discussed by the preparers of the several projects, the 5 civil works project, and for the 1 good and services. For the second agenda, requirements of bidding documents to be presented to us by our head procurement unit, Engineer Brian Neil Augusto. For the third agenda, documents to be submitted by the bidder, including technical and financial proposal. Again, our head secretariat, Engineer Brian Neil Augusto. For the fourth agenda, criteria and procedure for the preliminary examination of the bids, detailed evaluation of bids, post-qualification and award through our secretariat. The fifth agenda, questions/comments from the bidders and replies of BAC and other representative of procuring entity. And summary of the next agenda, summary of proceeding, including bid bulletins, addenda to be issued, if any, and other matters. That is the agenda for today, which is for a private conference. So let's start. Let's continue for the basic contract data. Let's start for the goods and services. For contract ID number 24 GBI 03 to be presented to us by the provisional member for goods and services, Engineer Larissa Blanza. Engineer Blanza, take it away.
For the contract ID number 24 GBI 03, the name of the project is Procurement of 1 unit heavy-duty production copier for use of DPWH Nueva Vizcaya 1st District Engineering Office. The location of the contract is at DPWH Bayambang Nueva Vizcaya. The approved budget for the contract is 8,100,000 pesos. The duration is 30 calendar days upon the issuance of the notice to proceed. Cost of bid documents is 10,000 pesos. The source of fund will come from the DPWH FY 2024 Capital Outlay EAO. The technical specifications for the contract for the heavy duty production copier, for the technology, it should have a print technology of LED printer, the imaging technology, imaging devices for each color, CMYK. The ink system is toner. The print speed, CAD mono or color should be 4D/A1 per minute, or CAD monocolor should be 2E/A0 per minute. It should have 9 print modes, and the scan resolution is 600 by 600 dpi, and the print resolution is 1200 dpi. For the media handling technology, for the auto switching technology, the correct role for the print job is selected automatically based on the media type and roll width. Automatic roll switching when the end of the roll is reached, and automatic width detection. Automatic adjustment of gap between media and print head. For the scanner, the technology for the scanner is CIS, or the contact imaging sensor. For the resolution of the scanner is 600 by 600 dpi. The scan speed should be 49.1 per minute monochrome scanning, or 15.2 millimeter per minute monochrome scanning. The controller for the heavy-duty production copier, for the OS operating system, Windows 10. Processor is 6-core 6-thread 4 i5 8500 at 4.1 GHz. Memory should have 8 GB DDR4. The hard drive is 2 times 500 GB. Print language TIFF, JPEG, HPGL, HPGL2, DWF, C4, or the standard, that should be the standard print language. For the output delivery of the production copier, the capacity should have at least up to 400 sheets. The media width is 216 millimeter to 1067 millimeter, or 8.5 inches to 42 inches. The media length should be 200 mm or 7.9 inches to 1220 mm or 48 inches. And the media weight is 60 to 160 grams per square meter. For the environmental safety, the power requirements is 100 to 200 volts. And the power consumption at sleep mode is less than 2.5 watts. At ready mode, 199 watts. And at active mode should be at 380 watts. For the image and documentary, image, document, and video audio files, file to store has no file size limit. And it should have unlimited number of folder or subfolder supported. Unlimited number of categories, document type, library supported. Unlimited number of documents supported per file cabinet. Integrate to Microsoft Office application like Word, Excel, and Outlook. Available browser-based user interface or client PC resident software. A mobile device app available for Android, iPhone, and iPad. File transfer supports the HTTP, HTTPS, and DCOM. The system allows definition of security on folder access. The system also allows definition of security on viewing of index data. It should also allow custom permission sets like view, delete, print, and export. And embed all archives of documents with secure digital signature or encryption. It should have the ability to integrate to digital transaction management provider or DTM, such as DocuSign. The audit trail of the document access or the document changes. Captures electronic documents, captures incoming, outgoing email with optional connectors to Microsoft Outlook. For the regulation, it should be Energy Star certified with Energy Star stamp. If it does not have, for the items that does not have any Energy Star stamp or Energy Star label, an appropriate means of proof of energy consumption level shall be submitted, such as technical dossier of the manufacturer or a test report from a recognized body to demonstrate compliance with this requirement. For the brand or the model, it should be an international brand name with existence of at least 10 years in the Philippines. And it must be in the current catalog and not end of life, with manufacturer certificate is required. The documentation and media, all equipment shall be supplied with the standard manufacturer's documentation on any electronic storage of media and hard copy version were available. Certificate from the manufacturer that the bidder is an authorized distributor. A certificate from the manufacturer that the bidder is an authorized service provider partner. And a certificate from the manufacturer must be addressed to the project title. A certificate from the manufacturer that the machine to be delivered is brand new. For the warranty and maintenance, the supplier is required to provide a 3-year warranty for parts and on-site labor from the date of the inspection and acceptance report, regardless of copy counter. The supplier must also provide a manufacturer's certificate as proof of authorized dealer or distributor. For the technical support of the heavy-duty production copier, the supplier must have a physical office and service center in Region 2. For the local technical support, which may include telephone and email, 8 hours per day, 8 to 5, 5 days a week, Monday to Friday, for problem resolution. Support shall have a response time of next business day, free of charge. That's all, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Engineer Larissa Blanza, our provisional member for goods and services, for presenting the technical specification of the heavy unit production copier. So may I ask our loan supplier present here if do you have any questions or clarification the presented technical specification of the said goods, sir? None. So may I ask from our secretariat for our YouTube live viewers, especially our prospective bidders, does anyone have any questions or clarifications regarding this project with contract ID number 24GBI03? None. So from our fellow back members, let's start provisional member from for all types of procurement, architect IB Salazar.
Answer.
Thank you. Our back regular member, Engineer Reden A. Milyare.
No amendment, sir.
Noted. Our back vice chair, Engineer Danilo A. Bernabe.
No amendments, Mr. Chair.
Noted. Since majority of the back members have no amendment for these goods and services with contract ID number 24GBI03, then we will adopt the basic contract data as advertised. So let's continue for the second for civil works. The first civil works for today is with contract ID number 24BI0065. Will present engineer the preparer, Engineer Angie Reyes, will explain the technical details and scope of work of this particular project. Engineer Reyes, take it away.
Hello. Good afternoon, everyone. Before I discuss the project, allow me to read the basic contract data. Contract ID 24BI0065. Name of project, Convergence and Special Support Program. Basic Infrastructure Program, BIP. Multipurpose buildings, facilities to support social services. Construction of multipurpose building, Barangay Magapuy. Location of the contract, Bayombong, Nueva Vizcaya. Approved budget for the contract, 3,465,000. Project description, construction of 15 meters by 25 meters multipurpose building. Duration of the project, 130 calendar days. Cost of bid documents, 5,000 pesos. Source of fund, regular infra FY 2024. Next slide po. So this is the location map of the project. Next slide. This is the geotag photo with geotag description of 16 degrees, 26 minutes, and 27 seconds north, 121 degrees, 8 minutes, 19 seconds east. This is the floor plan and the roof plan. Next slide. The front and the rear elevation, typical front and rear elevation. Next slide. Typical side elevation. So this project is a construction of a 25 meter by 15 meter multipurpose building. This project will be constructed completely from the foundations, columns, beams, and roofing systems. The existing floor slab will be removed and replaced. The storm drainage system, electrical wirings, and lighting fixtures shall also be provided. The source of aggregate will be in Makati Quarry, approximately 6.1 kilometers from project site. This project will be completed within 130 calendar days. Next slide. This is the section through BP. And this is the perspective view of the project. That would be all, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Engineer Angie Reyes, the preparer of this first project with contract ID number 24BI0065. Again, may I know from the Secretariat, does anyone from our YouTube live viewers have questions or clarification, especially our prospective bidders for this first project? None? So let's continue, fellow back members. Let's start from provisional member from all types of procurement, Architect IB Salazar.
I have no amendment, sir.
Noted, Architect IB. For our back regular member, Engineer Reden A. Milyare.
No amendments, Mr. Chair.
Noted, Engineer Milyare. For our back vice chair, Engineer Danilo A. Bernabe.
No amendments, Mr. Chair.
Noted. Since majority of the back members have no amendment for this particular project with contract ID number 24BI0065, then we will adopt the basic contract data as advertised. Take note, Engineer Brian Neil Augusto, our head secretariat. Okay, let's continue for the second civil works project for today with contract ID number 24BI0066. I request Engineer Maria Angelica de la Cruz to prepare to discuss the scope, the technical details and scope of work of this particular project. Engineer de la Cruz, take it away.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Angelica de la Cruz from Planning and Design section. Allow me to present to you the contract ID 24BI0066 with the name of Project Convergence and Special Support Program, Basic Infrastructure Program BIP, Multipurpose Buildings/Facilities to Support Social Services, Construction of Multipurpose Building, Barangay Aliaga. The location of the contract, Bambang, Nueva Vizcaya. Approved budget for the contract, 4,950,000 pesos. With a project description of construction of 15 meters by 20 meters multipurpose building with stage. The duration, 180 calendar days. Cost of bid documents, 5,000 pesos. Source of fund, regular infra FY 2024. Next. So here is the project location with a geotag description of 16 degrees 21 minutes 22 seconds north, 121 degrees 4 minutes and 31 seconds east. Next slide, please. So here are the geotag photos. Next slide, please. And here is the perspective view of the proposed project. So this proposed project entails the construction of a 15 meters by 20 meters covered court and 11.8 meters by 8 meters stage, encompassing all phases of construction, starting with the laying of foundation works, erecting columns and beams, building both interior and exterior walls for the stage, and roofing system. The finishing works will involve plastering and painting for both structures and tile works for the stage. Additionally, the project will incorporate the installation of storm drainage and downspouts for sanitation facilities along with the completion of electrical installations, including lighting and fixtures. The aggregate utilized in the project is extracted from the Kupas Quarry, located at a distance of about 7.58 kilometers from the project site. And on the other hand, the materials essential for the project are sourced from Bambang proper. Next slide, please. So here is the floor plan. Next slide, please. The front elevation, rear elevation, right side elevation, and the left side elevation. That would be all. Thank you.
Thank you, Engineer Maria Angelica de la Cruz, for the brief presentation of this second project with contract ID number 24BI0066. Again, from the Secretary, may I ask from our YouTube live viewers, especially our prospective bidders, does anyone have any questions or clarification regarding the second project? None? So, fellow back members, let's start from our provisional member for all types of procurement, Architect IB Salazar. Noted. Our regular member, Engineer Reden A. Milyare.
No amendments, Mr. Chair.
Noted. Our back Vice Chair, Engineer Danilo A. Bernabe.
No amendments, Mr. Chair.
Noted. Since majority of the back members have no amendment for this particular project, then we will adopt the basic contract data as advertised. Take note, the Secretariat, Engineer Brian Neil Augusto. Let's continue for the third civil works project for today with contract ID number 24BI0067. Again, may request the preparer, Engineer Angie A. Reyes, to discuss the technical details and scope of work for this particular project. Engineer Reyes, take it away.
Good afternoon once again. For this project with contract ID 24BI0067, name of project, Convergence and Special Support Program, Basic Infrastructure Program, BIP, multipurpose buildings, facilities to support social services, construction of multipurpose building, Solano North Elementary School, Barangay Osmeña. Location of the project, Solano Nueva Vizcaya. Approved budget for the contract, 4,950,000. Project description, construction of 15 meters by 30 meters multipurpose building with bleachers. Duration, 180 calendar days. Cost of bid documents, 5,000 pesos. Source of fund, regular infra FY 2024. Next slide, please. So this is the location map of the project. Next slide. Next slide po. This is a geotag photo with geotag description of 16 degrees, 31 minutes, 20 seconds north, 121 degrees, 10 minutes, and 41 seconds east. Next slide. This is the floor plan and roof plan. Next slide. This is the typical front elevation, rear elevation, and the typical side elevation. So this project is a construction of 30 meters by 15 meters multipurpose building with bleachers at the right side of the building. This project will be constructed completely from the foundations, columns, beams, and roofing systems. The existing floor slab will be removed and replaced. Storm drainage, electrical wirings, and lighting fixtures will also be provided. The source of aggregate for this project will be in Madyangat Quarry, approximately 5.4 kilometers from project site. So this is the perspective view of the project. That would be all, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Engineer Angie Reyes, for your presentation of this project with contract ID number 24BI0067. Again, from the Secretariat, may I know if does anyone from our YouTube live viewers, especially our prospective bidders, have questions or clarification regarding this particular project? None? So, fellow members, let's start from provisional member from all types of procurement, Architect IB Salazar.
I have no amendment, sir.
Noted. Our back regular member, Engineer Reden A. Milyare.
No amendments, Mr. Chair.
Noted. Our back Vice Chair, Engineer Danilo A. Bernabe.
No amendments, Mr. Chair.
Noted. Since majority of the back members have no amendment for this particular project, so take note again, Secretariat will adopt the basic contract data as advertised.
Noted, Mr. Chair.
Let's continue for the Port Civil Works project, second to the last for today, with contract ID number 24BI0068, to be presented to us by the preparer, Engineer Jasper Pagtulingan. Engineer Pagtulingan, take it away.
Hello. Thank you, Mr. Chair. For the contract ID of 24BI0068, the name of project, Convergence and Special Support Program, Basic Infrastructure Program or BIP, Flood Mitigation Structures Protecting Major or Strategic Public Buildings or Facilities, Construction of Drainage Canal, Poblacion, Phase 1, Bambang, Nueva Vizcaya. The location of the contract at Bambang, Nueva Vizcaya. Approved budget for the contract is 29,700,000. And the project description, a construction of 1,108 linear meter reinforced concrete drainage canal lining with catch basin. The duration of the project is 173 calendar days. Cost of bid documents, 25,000 pesos only. And the source of fund, regular infra FY 2024. Next slide. This is the location of the drainage canal lining. It is two sections besides the Save More from the Barangay Poblacion, the centro of Bambang, Nueva Vizcaya. Next. This is the project quarry site of the project, the Magat River, the Makate section. The project site is located at Poblacion, Bambang, Nueva Vizcaya at 3.7 kilometers from quarry site of Magat River, 400 meters from Bambang Municipal Hall, and the source of cement and RSB at Barangay Poblacion, Bambang, Nueva Vizcaya. This is the topographic plan of the two sections. Every intersection or every corner of the streets, it has a proposed catch basin with a height of 1.3, width of 1 meter, and a length of 1.60 meters. Next. This is the beginning of the Dalimag Street. The beginning of the project is along the National Highway, and the end of the project is at the end near the Boy Street, end of the Boy Street. Yeah, next slide. Next. This is the typical section of the Dalimag Street. The drainage canal have a height of 1.35 and a width of 1.3 meters and a base of lean concrete, precast lean concrete. Next slide. This is the typical covered typical section of a covered canal na manhole. Next slide. And that is the end of my presentation.
Thank you, Engineer Pagtulingan, for the presentation of this project with contract ID number 24BI0068. Again, from the Secretariat, may I know if do we have any questions or clarification from our YouTube live viewers, especially our prospective bidders for this particular project? None. So, fellow back members, let's start. If we have any amendment, let's start from provisional member from all types of procurement, architect, IB Salazar.
I have no amendments, Mr. Chair.
Noted. Our back regular member, Engineer Reden A. Milyare.
No amendments, Mr. Chair.
Noted. Our back Vice Chair, Engineer Danilo A. Bernabe.
No amendments, Mr. Chair.
Noted. Since majority of the back members have no amendment for this particular project, then we will adopt the basic contract data as advertised. Take note, our Head Secretariat, Engineer Brian Neil Augusto.
Noted, Mr. Chair.
Noted. Let's continue for the last civil works project for today with contract ID number 24BI0069 to be presented to us by the preparer, Engineer Adukul, Joseph Adukul. Engineer Adukul, take it away.
Thank you, Sir Chair. For the fifth civil works for today with a contract ID number 24BI0069 entitled Organizational Outcome 1, Ensure Safe and Reliable National Road System, Asset Preservation Program, Rehabilitation, Reconstruction, Upgrading of Damaged Paved Roads, Tertiary Roads, DM Junction Malasin Road, K0248 plus, open and close parentheses, negative 462, to K0250 plus 1,224. The project is located at Bambang, Nueva Vizcaya, and the approved ABC is 96,500,000. And the project description is reconstruction of 7.39 lane kilometer carriageway with road safety devices. The duration of the project is 302 calendar days, and the cost of bid documents is 50,000. The source of fund for this particular project is regular infra FY 2024. And PowerPoint presentation, please. Next slide, please. This is the proposed project site, sir. As you can see, sir, next slide, please. This is the photos and geotag photos of the proposed project. Next slide, please. This is the layout plan of the project. Okay, next, 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 next. Okay. The scope of work for this particular project, sir, is the reconstruction of 7.39 lane kilometer road with a thickness of 0.3 meters, and the width is 3.05 meters. The spacing of the tie bars is 750 mm, and the plain dowel bars using 25 mm diameter, spaced at 130 meters mm OC. Then next slide, please. Another scope of work for this particular project, sir, is the installation of the street light, a solar street light. For this solar street light, it is solar powered, LED roadway lighting with 60 watts, and it has a GSL 36 watts smart LED solar street lights with IP65 lumens. It is solar powered. Then for the base, can you please zoom in for the footing? The dimension is 1.2 meters squared. The thickness of the footing is 0.3. And for the pedestal, up until the NGL, 1.2 minimum. Then the height of the pole is 8 meters. 8 meters mounting height pole with 1.5 meter single mast arm at the top for the solar light. And with a round steel tapered post, the bottom is the diameter is 0.2 and the top is 0.1 diameter. And the thickness of the pole is 4 mm. Then it has a base plate of 20 mm by 400 mm by 400 mm. The stiffener plate is 16 mm by 200 by 100 by 20 mm, hot dip galvanized. And another information for this particular project, it has also a guardrail with end piece. And I think that's all for the scope of work. I didn't include, sir, because nakalimutan kong i-include. So I just said or explained that there is a metal girder included in this project with a end piece on both sides.
Please see the detail of the pedestal of the solar light. If you're going to see at the left side, the one with the solar post, NGL, dun sa kabila. The NGL and the top of the pedestal. How much is the difference in elevation?
As you can see, sir, we have the dimension at the bottom left at 300 mm.
Okay, please see the detail of the enlarged pedestal. Pakisum mo yung kanya.
Okay, sir. Let me check through the plan, sir. What is the correct design if it is elevated from the NGL?
Yes, for the information of our prospective bidders. Is it the 200 millimeter is based from the finish grade line of the pavement? So medyo mali yung detalye niyan.
Sir, let me check, sir. But I think the bigger, let me check first, sir. But I think the bigger scale model of the pedestal is much correct. I think, sir.
So the top of the pedestal is the top of the NGL?
I think, sir.
Are you sure?
I'm not sure, sir, but I think that.
Hindi, para maklaro lang doon sa mga prospective bidders. Kasi kung ganyan, may tendency na kalawangin yung mga bolts mo.
Elevation.
From the detail of the pedestal with post, it is elevated 200 millimeter from the NGL.
Okay, sir. Noted.
Okay, please take note, Engineer Joseph Padukul, for the correction of the detail. And please add also an addition for the information of our prospective bidders that will include some details of the guardrail, typical details of the guardrail. To be corrected. Okay, any other from the secretariat, from our YouTube live viewers? Does anyone have any questions or clarification for the last civil works project for the day with contract ID number 24BI0069? None? Okay, let's continue. Fellow back members, provisional member from all types of procurement, architect, IB Salazar. Do we have any amendment?
Sir, I have an amendment, sir, for this particular project. Amendments of the name of the project.
Okay.
From Organizational Outcome 1, Ensure Safe and Reliable National Road System, Asset Preservation Program, Preventive Maintenance, Tertiary Roads. DM Junction Malasin Road, K0248 plus negative 462. K0250 plus 1224. 2, Organizational Outcome 1, Ensure Safe and Reliable National Road System, Rehabilitation / Reconstruction / Upgrading of damaged paved roads / tertiary roads. Yun, sir.
So we have a correction for the name of project. as per take note, Secretariat. So, as per the GAA, the correct name of project, there is rehabilitation. So we'll correct, we'll amend the name of project. Will from organizational outcome one, ensure safe and reliable road system, asset preservation program, preventive maintenance, tertiary roads, DM Junction Malasin Road, K0248 plus or minus 462 to K0250 plus 1224. 2. Ensure safe and reliable national road system. Rehabilitation slash reconstruction slash upgrading of damaged paved roads, tertiary roads, K0248 plus or minus 462 to K0250 plus 1224. And okay. D. TM Junction Malasin. May please include the DM Junction Malasin Road. And also, any other amendment from back regular member?
About about the project description, sir.
Okay.
It is indicated in the project description, reconstruction of 7.39 linear kilometer. It should be lane kilometer carriageway with road safety devices.
Okay, noted. Again, take note, Engineer Brian Nailogusto for the project description.
Di ba natin idadagdag yung solar light and guardrails?
I think it's included in the road safety devices, sir. Guardrails.
Road safety kasali dyan. Okay, noted, Engineer Reden Emiliare. Our back Vice Chair, any other amendment?
No amendments, Mr. Chair.
Noted. So, our amendment to submit that, our amendment for this particular project, for the name of project, and for the project description, especially linear kilometer to lane kilometer. So, take note, Engineer Brian Nailagusto for this amendment.
Noted, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you. We will issue supplemental bid bulletin for this fifth project. So, to continue, let's proceed for the second agenda, which is the requirements of bidding documents. Engineer Brian Neil Augusto, take it away. the second agenda, requirements of bidding documents for the 5 civil works project. Engineer Augusto, take it away.
Thank you again, Mr. Chair, and for the requirements for the bidding documents for the 5 civil works projects for contract ID number 24BI0065 for the construction of multipurpose building Barangay Magapuy, Bayambong Nueva Vizcaya for ITB close number for ITB close 14.2A 4B. The minimum work experience requirements for the key personnel are the following. For the key personnel, we have the project manager, project engineer, materials engineer, foreman, and safety officer. Minimum years of CPLR experience, same position is 3 years. Minimum years of total work experience, same position is 3 years. For ITB close 14.2A4, the minimum major equipment requirements are the following. For the description, we have the dump truck, required unit is 1, backhoe with breaker, plate compactor, and 1 bagger mixer, required unit is 1, bar cutter, bar bender, welding machine, gas-driven, required units is 1. For the laboratory equipments, please refer to DEO number 11, series of 2017, for the minimum materials testing equipment and department order number 127, series of 2018, strict application of Republic Act 9184, the conduct of post-qualification of bidders with delayed ongoing contracts within the DPWH. For the second project, sir, with contract ID number 24BI0066, construction of multipurpose building, Barangay Aliaga, Bambang, Nueva Vizcaya, for ITB close 14.2A4B. The minimum work experience requirements for the key personnel are the following. For the key personnel, we have the project manager, project engineer, materials engineer, foreman, and safety officer. Minimum years of similar work experience, same position is 3 years. Minimum years of total work experience, same position is 3 years. For ITB close 14.2A4, the minimum major equipment requirements are the following. For the description, we have 1 bagger, required unit is 1, bar cutter, bar bender, required unit is 1, welding machine, diesel or gas driven, required unit is 1, cutting outfit, backhoe with breaker, required unit is 1, portable breaker, required unit is 1, concrete saw, dump truck, and plate compactor, required units is 1. Please refer to department number 11, series of 2017 for the minimum materials testing equipment and department order number 127, series of 2018, strict application of Republic Act 9184, the conduct of post-qualification of bidders with delayed ongoing contracts within the DPWH. For the third project, sir, with contract ID number 24BI0067. Yes, sir. Merong Thank you, sir. May I continue? And for the third project with contract ID number 24BI0067, construction of multipurpose building, Solano North Elementary School, Solano, Nueva Vizcaya, for ITB close 14.2A4B, the minimum work experience requirements for the key personnel are the following. For the key personnel, we have the project manager rather, project engineer, materials engineer, foreman, and safety officer. Minimum years of similar experience, same position is 3 years. Minimum years of total work experience, same position is 3 years. For ITB close 14.24, the minimum major equipment requirements are the following. For the description, we have backhoe with breaker, required units is 1, plate compactor, 1 bagger mixer, bar cutter, band burner, and welding machine, required units is 1. Ito lang yan, sir. For contract ID number for the fourth project, sir, with contract ID number 24BI0068, construction of drainage canal, Poblacion Bambang, Nueva Vizcaya, for ITB close 14.2A4B, the minimum works experience requirements for the key personnel are the following. For the project manager, project engineer, materials engineer, foreman, and safety officer, minimum years of similar experience, same position is 3 years. Minimum years of total work experience, same position is 3 years. For ITB Clause 14.2A, the minimum major equipment requirements are the following. For the description, we have payloader, required units is 1, dump truck, required units is 2, water truck or pump, required units 1, cargo service truck, required units is 1, backhoe, wheel-mounted, required units 1, transit mixer, 5 to 6 cubic yards, 0.80 cubic meter, required unit is 1, boom truck, required unit is 1, backhoe, 0.80 cubic meter, 1.04 cubic yards, required unit is 1, plate compactor, required unit is 1, motorized road grader, vibratory roller, required unit is 1, transit mixer, 5 to 6 cubic yards, 5 to cubic meter, or 5 to 6 cubic yards, required unit is 4, concrete vibrator, required unit is 2, concrete batch plant, required unit is 1, concrete skidder, concrete saw, bar cutter, cutting outfit, 1 bagger mixer, and bar bender, 25 mm, required unit is 1. For the laboratory equipment, please refer to Department Order Number 11, Series of 2017, for the minimum materials testing equipment, and Department Order 127, Series of 2018, strict application of Republic Act 9184, the conduct of post-qualification of bidders with delayed ongoing contracts within the DPWH. For the fifth project, sir, with the contract ID number 24BI0069, Asset Preservation Program, Preventive Maintenance, Tertiary Roads, Junction, Malasin, Road KO248 plus minus 462 to KO250 plus 1,324. For ITB Clause 14.2A, for B, the minimum work experience requirements for the key personnel are the following. For the project manager, project engineer, materials engineer, foreman, safety officer, minimum years of similar experience, same position is 5 years, and minimum years of total work experience, same position is 5 years. For the major equipment, so for the description, we have the asphalt paver, pneumatic tire roller, 10 metric tons, tandem steel roller, 10 metric tons, required units is 1, asphalt distributor, required units 1, water truck, payloader, dump truck, motorized grader, power boom truck, toad type, required units is 1. For laboratory equipment, please refer to Department Order Number 11, Series of 2017. For the minimum materials testing equipment and Department Order Number 127, Series of 2018, strict application of Public Act 9184, the conduct of post-qualification of bidders with delayed ongoing contracts within the DPWH. Sir, that's all for the agenda number 2, the requirement of the bidding documents for the 5 civil works projects. Thank you.
Again, thank you, Engineer Brian Neil Augusto, for the second agenda, which is the requirements of bidding documents. Again, from our YouTube live viewers, does anyone from our, especially our prospective bidders, have questions or clarification for the second agenda? None? So let's continue. For fellow back members, let's start from provisional member from all types of procurement, architect IB Salazar. For the second agenda, do you have any amendments for the 5 civil works project?
None, sir.
Noted. Or back regular member, Engineer Reden A. Milyare.
Yes, sir. The one has been amended lately, yung 24BI. Yun lang naman po. Yes po, 24BI 069. It was amended na kanina. So wala na po akong amendment doon sa 5 projects, sir.
Okay, thank you, Engineer Reden A. Milyare, for the amendment. Our back Vice Chair, Engineer Danilo A. Bernabe.
Mr. Chair, since we have an amendments for contract ID number 24BI0069, particularly the name of the project, which we corrected a while ago, and the project description, also corrected. However, as per discussion or presentation made by the head of the procurement unit, the equipment requirements as posted in the bidding documents are for asphalt overlay. The project is a reconstruction of the existing PCCP. Therefore, the equipment requirements do not jibe with the project description. So, I am suggesting or recommending that an amendment be made for the equipment requirements, but to retain the loader and dump truck. And for the meantime, I would suggest that we wait for the technical personnel who prepared the detailed engineering design for the correct project description to be posted in our bid bulletin.
Okay,
That's
no,
all, Mr. Chair. We're going to wait for Engineer Joseph Aducol for the correct equipment requirement for contract ID number 24BI 0069. Engineer Joseph Aducol is here now, and these are the correct equipment requirements for contract ID number 24BI 0069. And I would like to read the equipment requirement. Engineer Brian Augusto, please take note. Pwede ba nating i-edit na dyan? Ay, naka-PDF yan. So, here are the equipment requirement for contract ID number 24BI 0069. Description, cargo truck 2 to 5 metric ton, required 1. Applicator machine for thermoplastic pavement, 1. Kneading machine, 1. Boom truck, 10 metric ton, 1. Water truck, 4. Payloader, 1.5 cubic meter capacity, 2. Dump truck, 1. Engineer Joseph Padukol, isang dump truck lang ba yung requirement? Isa lang ba yun? Okay. 1 dump truck. Motorized road grader, 1. Transit mixer, 5 cubic meter capacity, 4. Vibratory roller, 1. And the last, backhoe with breaker, 1. That's all, Mr. Chair.
thank you, Engineer Danilo A. Bernabe, for reading the corrected equipments for this particular project with contract ID number 24BI0069. So, for our YouTube live viewers, especially our prospective bidders, we have amendment for this particular project, and take note, our back Secretariat Engineer Brian Neil Augusto, to be posted the corrected for the new project, project description, and the requirements. So let's continue for the third agenda for today. Documents to be submitted by the bidder, including technical and financial proposal. Again, may I request our head secretariat, Engineer Brian Neil Augusto, for the third agenda.
Again, Mr. Chair, for the documents to be submitted by the bidder, including technical and financial proposals to be played through audio recording, sir. Thank you.
Okay, Secretariat, can you play the audio, the pre-recorded audio presentation for the third agenda?
Technical and financial components. Number 1. Technical component envelope. Class A documents. For legal documents, letter A. Valid PhilJibs registration certificate, platinum membership, all pages. Or letter B. Registration certificate from Securities and Exchange Commission, Department of Trade and Industry for sole proprietorship, Cooperative Development Authority for cooperatives or its equivalent document. And letter C, mayor's or business permit issued by the city or municipality where the principal place of business of the prospective bidder is located, or the equivalent document for exclusive economic zones or areas. And letter D, tax clearance per EO number 398, series of 2005, as finally reviewed and approved by the Bureau of Internal Revenue. For technical documents, letter E, statement of the prospective bidder of all its ongoing government and private contracts, including contracts awarded but not yet started, if any, whether similar or not similar in nature and complexity to the contract to be bid. And letter F, a statement of the bidder's single largest completed contract, or SLCC, similar to the contract to be bid, except under conditions provided under the rules. And letter G, Philippine Contractors Accreditation Board, or PCAB license, special PCAB license in case of joint ventures, and registration for the type and cost of the contract to be bid. And letter F, original copy of bid security in the form of surety bond. Submit also the certification issued by the Insurance Commission, or original copy of notarized bid securing declaration. And letter I, project requirements, which shall include the following. First, organizational chart for the contract to be bid. Second, list of contractors' key personnel, for example, project manager, project engineers, materials engineers, safety officer, and foreman, to be assigned to the contract to be bid, with their complete qualification and experience data. Third, list of contractors' major equipment units, which are owned, leased, and or under purchase agreements, supported by proof of ownership or certification of availability of equipment from the equipment lessor, vendor, or the duration of the project as the case may be. And last, list of contractors' minimum material testing equipment which are owned as per Department Order Number 11, Series of 2017. For letter J, original duly signed omnibus sworn statement o OSS, and if applicable, original notarized secretary's certificate in case of corporation, partnership, or cooperatives, or original special power of attorney of all members of joint venture, giving full power and authority to its officer to sign the OSS and to do acts to represent the bidder. For financial documents, letter K, the prospective bidder's audited financial statements showing, among others, the prospective bidder's total and current assets and liabilities is stamp received by the BIR or its duly accredited and authorized institutions for the preceding calendar year, which should not be earlier than 2 years from the date of bid submission. And letter L, the prospective bidder's computation of net financial contracting capacity or NFCC, Class B documents. Letter M, if applicable, duly signed joint venture agreement or JVA in accordance with the Republic Act number 4566 and its IRR in case the joint venture is already in existence, or duly notarized statement from all the potential joint venture partners stating that they will enter into and abide by the provisions of the JVA in the instance that the bid is successful. Number 2, financial component envelope. Letter N, original of duly signed and accomplished financial bid form and other documentary requirements under Republic Act number 9184. Letter O, original of duly signed bid prices in the bill of quantities. And letter P, duly accomplished detailed estimate form, including a summary sheet indicating the unit prices of construction materials, labor rates, and equipment rental used in coming up with the bid. And letter Q, cash flow by quarter.
That's also for the audio presentation recording of the technical and financial proposals to be submitted by the prospective bidders, sir. Thank you.
Again, thank you, Secretariat, through Engineer Brian Nailagusto for the third agenda. So let's continue for the fourth agenda. Criteria and procedure for the preliminary examination of the bid, detailed evaluation of bid, post-qualification and award. I request our provisional member for all types of procurement, Architect IB Salazar, for the fourth agenda.
Thank you, sir. For the fourth agenda, may we listen to the pre-recorded audio presentation. Thank you, sir.
Okay, Secretariat, can you play the pre-recorded presentation for the fourth agenda?
Pre-bid conference. Detailed evaluation of bids. For the procurement of goods and infrastructure projects, the BAC shall evaluate the financial component of the bids to determine the lowest calculated bid using the following steps. The BAC shall immediately conduct a detailed evaluation of all bids using non-discretionary criteria in considering the following. Completeness of the bid. Unless the instructions to bidders specifically allow partial bids, bids not addressing or providing all of the required items in the bidding documents, including, where applicable, bill of quantities, shall be considered non-responsive and thus automatically disqualified. In this regard, where a required item is provided but no price is indicated, the same shall be considered as non-responsive. But specifying a 0 or a dash for the said item would mean that it is being offered for free to the government, except those required by law or regulations to be provided for. Arithmetical corrections. Consider computational errors and omissions to enable proper comparison of all eligible bids. It may also consider bid modifications if expressly allowed in the bid documents. Any adjustment shall be calculated in monetary terms to determine the calculated prices. The BAC shall evaluate all bids on an equal footing to ensure fair and competitive bid comparison. For this purpose, all bidders shall be required to include the cost of all taxes, such as, but not limited to, value-added tax, income tax, local taxes, and other fiscal levies and duties, which shall be itemized in the bid form and reflected in the detailed estimates. Such bids, including said taxes, shall be basis for bid evaluation and comparison. In case of discrepancies between bid prices in figures and in words, the latter shall prevail. Between total price per item and unit price for the item as extended or multiplied by the quantity of that item, the latter shall prevail. Between stated total price and the actual sum of prices of component items, the latter shall prevail. Between unit cost in the detailed estimate and unit cost in the bill of quantities, the latter shall prevail. Post-qualification. Objective and process of post-qualification. The lowest calculated bid shall undergo post-qualification in order to determine whether the bidder concerned complies with and is responsive to all the requirements and conditions as specified in the bidding documents. Within 5 calendar days from receipt by the bidder of the notice from the BAC that the bidder has the lowest calculated bid, the bidder shall submit to the BAC its latest income and business tax returns and other appropriate licenses and permits required by law and stated in the bidding documents. Failure to submit any of the post-qualification requirements on time or a finding against the veracity thereof shall disqualify the bidder for award, provided that in the event that a finding against the veracity of any of the documents submitted is made, it shall cause the forfeiture of the bid security in accordance with Section 69 of this IRR. The post-qualification shall verify, validate, and ascertain all statements made and documents submitted by the bidder with the lowest calculated bid using non-discretionary criteria as stated in the bidding documents. These criteria shall consider, but shall not be limited to the following. Legal requirements. To verify, validate, and ascertain licenses, certificates, permits, and agreements submitted by the bidder, and the fact that it is not included in any blacklist as provided in Section 25.3 of this IRR. For this purpose, the GPPB shall maintain a consolidated file of all blacklisted suppliers, contractors, and consultants. Technical requirements. To determine compliance of the infrastructure projects offered with the requirements specified in the bidding documents, including, where applicable, verification and validation of the bidder's stated competence and experience, and the competence and experience of the bidder's key personnel to be assigned to the project for the procurement of infrastructure projects. Verification of availability and commitment and/or inspection and testing for the required capacities and operating conditions of equipment unit to be owned, leased, under, purchased by the bidder for use in the contract. Negative slippage of at least 15% in any one project or a negative slippage of at least 10% in each of 2 or more contracts. Failure of the contractor to commence repair works on ongoing contracts within 7 calendar days and to complete them within 30 calendar days after receipt of the procuring entity's notice of defects and deficiencies. Failure of the contractor to commence repair works on contracts with pending certificates of acceptance within 30 calendar days and complete them within 90 days after receipt of the procuring entity's notice of defects and failures, or substandard quality of work as per contract plans and specifications, or unsatisfactory performance of the contractor's obligations as per contract terms and conditions at the time of inspection. If the BAC verifies any of these deficiencies to be due to the contractor's fault or negligence, the agency shall disqualify the contractor from the award for the procurement of infrastructure projects.
That's all, sir. Thank you.
Thank you for the fourth agenda. Then we'll continue for the fifth agenda, which is the questions, comments from bidders and replies of BAC and other representatives of procuring entity. Again, may I ask the from the Secretariat, does anyone have any question and comments for the agenda tackled? None. So being none, so let's proceed for the number 7 agenda, summary of proceeding, including bid bulletins, addenda to be issued. So we have already amendment for the 6th project. Please take note, Engineer Brian Neil Augusto, our head secretariat. Particularly the name of project, the project description, and the equipment requirements of equipment for the bidding documents.
Noted, Mr. Chair.
Okay. So we'll continue for the others matters. Again, may request Engineer Brian Nela Gusto if we have any announcement or reminders to make.
Thank you again, Mr. Chair. And we have a announcement reminder, sir, for the next procurement activities.
Engineer Brian Aluso, kindly read all the details of the next procurement activities.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And for the announcement reminders for the next procurement activities, which is the opening of bids for 10 civil works projects on February 27, 2024 at 9:01 a.m. Venue, PRU Bidding Room, Main Building, DPWH and Vizcaya First DEO, Bayongbong, Nueva Vizcaya. For the 10 civil works projects, sir, for the contract, for the first civil work project with contract ID number 24BI0055, name of the project, organizational outcome 2, protect lives and properties against major floods, construction/rehabilitation of flood mitigation facilities within major river basins and principal rivers, rehabilitation of flood control structure along Magat River, Santo Vista Alegra section, package 1, Bayongbong, Nueva Vizcaya. Location of project is at Bayongbong, Nueva Vizcaya, with an indicative approved budget for the contract or ABC of 96,500,000 pesos. And a project description of replacement of 580 linear meter damaged rubble concrete revetment into slope protection works, stitch shield pile with embankment, with a project duration of 325 calendar days. Cost of bidding documents is 50,000, and a source of fund of regular infra FY 2024. For the second project, with contract ID number 24BI0056, name of the project, organizational outcome 2, protect lives and properties against major floods, construction rehabilitation of flood mitigation facilities within major river basins and principal rivers, rehabilitation of flood control structure along Magat River, Santo Domingo section, package 2, Bambang, Nueva Vizcaya. Location of the project is at Bambang, Nueva Vizcaya, with an indicative approved budget for the contract or ABC of 96,500,000 pesos. And a project description of replacement of 580 linear meter damaged revetment into slope protection works, steel sheet piles with embankment, and a project duration of 325 calendar days. Cost of bidding documents is 50,000, and a source of fund of regular infra FY 2024. For the third project, sir, with contract ID number 24BI0057, name of the project, Convergence and Special Support Program, Sustainable Infrastructure Projects Alleviating Gaps, close open parenthesis CPAG, flood mitigation structures protecting major strategic public buildings, facilities, construction of flood control and drainage structure along Magat River, Tuaw North section, Bagabag, Nueva Vizcaya. Location of the project is at Bagabag, Nueva Vizcaya, with an indicative approved budget for the contract or ABC of 91,675,000 pesos, and a project description of construction of 520 linear meter slope protection works, stitch shield pile with embankment, and a project duration of 316 calendar days. Cost of bidding documents is 50,000, and a source of fund of regular infra FY 2024. For the fourth project, with contract ID number 24BI0058, name of the project, Convergence and Special Support Program, Sustainable Infrastructure Projects Alleviating Gaps, CPAG, flood mitigation structures protecting major strategic public buildings, facilities, construction of flood control and drainage structure along Magat River, Tuaw South section, Bagabag, Nueva Vizcaya. Location of the project is at Bagabag, Nueva Vizcaya, with an indicative approved budget for the contract of 89,745,000 pesos, and a project description of construction of 480 linear meter slope protection works, stitch shield pile with embankment, and a project duration of 316 calendar days. Cost of bidding documents is 50,000, and a source of fund of regular infra FY 2024. For the fifth project, with contract ID number 24BI0059, name of the project, Convergence and Special Support Program, Sustainable Projects Alleviating Gaps, CPAG, flood mitigation structures protecting major strategic buildings, facilities, construction of flood control and drainage structure along Magat River, Magapuy section, Bayambong, Nueva Vizcaya. Location of the project is at Bayambong, Nueva Vizcaya, with an indicative approved budget for the contract or ABC of 93,605,000 pesos only. And a project description of construction of 520 linear meters slope protection works, steel sheet pile with embankment, and a project duration of 319 calendar days. Cost of bidding documents is 50,000 and a source of fund of regular infra FY 2024. For the sixth project, with contract ID number 24BI0060, name of project, Convergence and Special Support Program, Sustainable Infrastructure Projects Alleviating Gaps or CPAG, Flood Mitigation Structure Protecting Major Strategic Public Buildings Facilities, construction of flood control and drainage structure along Magat River, Baretbet section, Bagabag, Nueva Vizcaya. Location of the project is at Bagabag, Nueva Vizcaya, with an indicative approved budget for the contract or ABC of 89,745,000 pesos, and the project description of construction of 480 linear meter slope protection works, steel sheet pile with embankment, and a project duration of 312 calendar days. Cost of bidding documents is 50,000, and a source of fund of regular infra FY 2024. For the seventh project, sir, with contract ID number 24BI0061, name of the project, organizational outcome 2, protect lives and properties against major flood, flood management program, construction, maintenance of flood control, flood mitigation structures and drainage systems, construction of Santa Lucia flood control structure along Lamut River, Barangay Santa Lucia, Bagabag, Nueva Vizcaya. Location of the project is at Bagabag, Nueva Vizcaya, with an indicative approved budget for the contract or ABC of 96,500,000 pesos, and a project description of construction of 560 linear meter slope protection works, steel sheet pile with embankment, project duration of 324 calendar days. Cost of bidding documents is 50,000, and a source of fund of regular infra FY 2024. For the eighth project, sir, with contract ID number 24BI0062, name of the project, organizational outcome 2, protect lives and properties against major floods, flood management program, construction, maintenance of flood mitigation structure and drainage system, construction of Nalubunan flood control structure along Angadanan River, Nalubunan, Quezon, Nueva Vizcaya. Location of the project is at Quezon, Nueva Vizcaya, and with an indicative approved budget for the contract or ABC of 96,500,000 pesos only, and a project description of construction of 560 linear meter slope protection works, steel sheet pile with embankment, with a project duration of 324 calendar days. Cost of bidding documents is 50,000, and a source of fund of regular infra FY 2024. For the ninth project, with contract ID number 24BI0063, name of the project, organizational outcome 2, protect lives and properties against major floods, flood management program, construction, rehabilitation of flood mitigation facilities within major river basins and principal rivers, construction of Tuaw North, thus Tuaw South flood control structure along Magat River, Sitio Dumayok, Tuaw North, thus Tuaw South, Bagabag, Nueva Vizcaya. Location of the project is at Bagabag, Nueva Vizcaya, with an indicative approved budget for the contract or ABC of 96,500,000 pesos, and a project description of construction of 540 linear meter slope protection works, steel sheet pile with embankment, and a project duration of 324 calendar days. Cost of bidding documents is 50,000, and a source of fund of regular infra FY 2024. For the 10th project, sir, or the last, with contract ID number 24BI0064, name of the project, organizational outcome 1, ensure safe and reliable national road system, asset preservation program, rehabilitation, reconstruction of roads with slip, slope collapse and landslide, tertiary roads, Papaya, Malabing, Wangal, Binugawan, Tajirun Road, thus KO 312 plus 260 to KO 312 plus 327, K0314 plus 117 to KO314 plus 193. Location of the project is at Quezon, Nueva Vizcaya, with indicative approved budget for the contract or ABC of 44,100,000 pesos and a project description of reconstruction of 2,565 square kilometer damaged rubble concrete slope protection to double crib wall slope protection, and the project duration of 237 calendar days. Cost of bidding documents is 25,000 and a source of fund of regular infra FY 2024. Sir, that's all for the 10 civil works projects scheduled on February 27, 2024. Thank you.
Thank you, Engineer Brian Nela Gusto, our Head Secretariat, for reading the announcement reminders for the next procurement activities, which is the opening of bids on February 27, 2024 at 9 a.m. So, again, do you have any other from the Secretariat? Does anyone have any questions, clarifications for the recently concluded pre-bid conference? And okay, none? Being none, can I hear a motion to adjourn?
Okay. Since we are finished with the pre-bid conference for 1 good and services and 5 civil works, and announcements have been made for the next procurement activity, and there is no further agenda. For 10 civil works, and there's no further agenda, I move to close this procurement activity.
I seconded, Mr. Chair.
Since it moved and seconded that these procurement activities as Baktir, I now declares that this pre-bid conference is officially closed. Good afternoon to each and everyone, and mabuhay tayong lahat. Thank you.